Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening to you wherever you are in the world. Welcome to my channel. My name is Meg and I'm a fully qualified yoga teacher, a beautician and masseuse. And this is my YouTube channel where I talk a lot about yoga, tips and tricks and things that you guys can follow along from home, but also some health and wellness as well. So if that is something that you're interested in, go and hit the subscribe button, and it means that every time I post onto my channel, you get notified so you never miss a class with me. This is a post-chest workout stretch. So if you're someone who's been in the gym, you've been working out through the chest, through the pecs, maybe the shoulders a little bit as well, this is for you. We're going to be focusing on stretching all the way through the pecs, all the way through the chest, getting some expansion through the lungs and helping you to recover properly and help your muscles recuperate after they've done this workout. I love stretching my chest after a chest workout, and it's probably for me the thing that I find the most important to stretch. I really can't stress enough for me how important it is, and I think for a lot of people as well. My muscles in my intercostals that sit underneath my ribs, if I don't stretch them out, because I'm a little bit asthmatic, they can really lock up and I struggle to get air in when like the weather gets cold and I suddenly try and breathe in some cold air or something like that. If I don't continually or stretch my muscles after I've done a chest workout, I can really feel that these muscles underneath my ribs lock up and get really painful, and I struggle to get a good breath in. You don't really need anything to do this stretch. If you've got a strap, it might be quite handy to do, but it's not the end of the world. I'm going to be using a strap to do this, but maybe if you don't have a strap, using a tie or a towel. If you're in the gym and you haven't got anything, honestly, not the end of the world. You can still stretch the muscles out. And when you're ready, we will get started. Keeping up tall, you can always pop something under the knees if you need to. And we're just going to move the arms around here. So just do one at a time. I often find with my chest and with my arms, I actually have a lot more flexibility in one side than the other. So when I stretch my chest and when I stretch my muscles, I tend to do one side and then the other. Try and get as much motion here as you can. So as you bring your arm up, really focus on bringing it towards the ear, sweeping the ear, and then keeping it close to the body as you bring it back and behind. So you might find that if you're just taking the arm almost out to the side, you're not going to get as much of a stretch or good a movement. So we're bringing the arm up so it's coming towards the ear. Try and squeeze your shoulder blade and keep that arm in towards the body as much as you can. Perfect. Let's move the shoulders, get a bit of movement there. You have a couple of different options for this next stretch. Option number one, if you can interlace the fingers, great. You can squeeze the shoulder blades together and start to lift the arms up. Maybe this is enough for you. Maybe you can flip the palms and do the same things with the palms lifted or palms flipped. If you've got a strap, it might be a bit easier and you might find more of a stretch across the chest here. So that's your option if you don't have a strap. If you do, let's focus on taking the strap just slightly wider than shoulder width. You might be able to loosen, or you might need to loosen it as you go along. See how you go. And we're going to take the arms back and forwards. Doing a couple of movements here. We'll bring the arms slightly closer together if you can, and then we'll hold back and behind. So your hands are either interlaced, back and behind trying to lift the palms, or you're holding onto your strap here and you're trying to push the chest forward, squeeze the shoulder blades together. You should feel a stretch across the chest, front of the shoulders, down the arms, maybe into the hands as well. Try and squeeze your tailbone under wherever you are. So try not to let your tailbone fling out behind. Think about tucking your bum in and pushing your shoulder blades together. So if you need to squeeze the glutes here, it might help to get that bum tucked under and to get that tailbone tucked under and to keep your core engaged. We'll take one more deep breath in and exhale wherever you are, letting go of the hands or letting go of the straps. Bit of movement here. I always find that that's quite a brutal stretch whenever I do that one. We're going to come into a puppy pose variation from here. So puppy pose, you'd normally have both arms out. Like I said at the beginning of this video, I do like to do alternate, and the reason for this is because I have more flexibility on one side than the other. If you're training purely flexibility, do both at the same time because it will keep them even. But when it's something like you've done a workout and you need to give the muscles the stretch that they need to help them to recover properly, doing them alternate, I think it's fine. So we're going to start in our tabletop with the hands underneath the shoulders, the fingers spread, and the knees underneath the hips. Lifting the tailbone slightly, and then we'll walk the hands out and in front just a little bit. Lift it a little bit more. Walk the hands a little bit more in towards you. Think about rotating your elbows to face towards down the mat. So you're externally rotating your shoulders and your elbows are starting to face towards the mat. So this is your puppy pose with both your arms down. What I like to do here is walk the arm in towards the face and just focus on doing one arm here. So my right hand is by my face, and then I'm walking the left arm out and in front. So this is going to give you a deep stretch across the front of the chest, into the underarm, across the arms, across the shoulder. Just keep focusing on letting your chest melt down in towards the ground. Maybe you can bring the chin or the forehead down into the mat. Try and keep your hips anchored over your knees. We'll take one more deep breath in. Walk the hand back in. We're going to swap over and do the same on the other side. So the right arm is coming out and in front. Slowly bringing everything down. Remembering we're trying to bring the elbow to face towards the mat. Maybe do both at the same time to begin with. And then walk that left hand in towards the face. And just focus on walking the right hand out and in front. You want to make sure that your hand is always in line with your shoulder. So we don't want it out to the side and we don't want it in too far. We want to make sure that there's a good straight line from your hand to your shoulder. Feeling that stretch here. You'll probably find that one side is a lot more flexible than the other. For me, this is my worst side. I think it's because I do eyelash extensions. And so my shoulder tends to lock up a little bit. Breathing here. Let the chest melt down towards the mat, stretching through the fingertips. You're getting a stretch across the hand as well. And you can take the forehead or the chest or the chin down towards the mat. We'll take one more deep breath in. And exhale, we'll slowly come up. You might need to give the shoulders a little wriggle here. Move them forwards and backwards. We're going to come into some quick cat-cow spines here, just a couple. So we're going to do one cat and one cow. Reason for this is, again, just a bit of movement across the back, into the shoulders. Really focus on moving your shoulder blades in these positions. So I'm taking the hands underneath the shoulders and the knees underneath the hips. Let's start in our cow spine. So lifting the tailbone, dropping the belly, squeeze the shoulder blades together, gazing forwards, keeping the brow soft. Really think about squeezing those shoulder blades together. And this is going to give you a bit of a stretch into the chest anyway, also through the hands. We'll then tuck the tailbone under, lift through the belly, spread the shoulder blades and take the chin in towards the chest. Really think about spreading the shoulder blades apart from each other, and this is going to give you more of a stretch just a little bit into the chest. Deep breath in, and exhale, we'll bring everything back. For your last couple of stretches, we're actually going to do this against a wall. So find a good wall that's nice and solid, hasn't got anything on it, so that you can place your hands and your arms on it to give you a good stretch. You can also use doors as well, just a nice, good, solid, flat surface that you can stand next to. So our first stretch, Coming up against the wall, we're going to stretch through the fronts of the shoulders here. So this is similar to that puppy pose that we did on the floor, but we're going to do both arms this time, and we're going to stretch against the wall. So place the hands up at the top. The closer you are to the wall, the harder this is going to be. So maybe walk your hands away. And what we're thinking about is taking the chest to the wall. Your hands are shoulder width apart and your fingers are spread here. Slowly start to take your chest towards the wall, and then maybe melt down the wall if it feels comfy. The closer you are, the harder this is going to be, because the more you're going to have to take a stretch or a movement in your back. So find where feels best for you. For me, I like to be kind of maybe about a foot, 2 feet away maybe. I'm trying to measure with my own feet, but I'm only a size 3. So we're keeping far away from the wall if it's easier. But think again, like I said, about just taking the chest towards the wall and then melting down. We're holding this here. Deep breath in, and exhale, we'll come back up. You can always hold these stretches a little bit longer if you want to, or if it feels better for you. We'll come on to our last stretch. So I'm going to do the first one facing you, and then the next one I'll be using this wall. We're going to be stretching through the front of the chest from here. So we're taking the hand onto the wall and having it again so it's about the same height as your shoulder. You can always move it up and down as you kind of get used to it and find where feels best for you. But to begin with, just have it equal to where your shoulder is. So your hand is behind, your chest is facing forwards, and then we're going to start to turn. Basically, we're aiming for a stretch across the front of the shoulder here. So maybe this motion alone, so just having your hand on the wall and then facing forward, you might already feel a stretch there. Stretch through the hands wherever you are. Maybe if you want more, you can start to turn the chest. And then focusing and hitting in different places into the chest here. So this is obviously your first variation with your hand at the same height as your shoulder. Taking it down, you're going to feel a little bit more of a stretch into the upper part of the shoulder. Taking it up higher, you're going to feel more of a stretch across the underarm and maybe into the main body of the pec. So just find where feels best for you. Like for me, this is the best stretch because this is where my tightest muscles are. You'll know because you'll feel a deeper stretch. And again, just gently twisting. We want to be holding stretches at about 70% here, not 100%. Try and keep your tailbone tucked under, squeeze the belly. Breathe here. If you're getting pins and needles in your hands in this stretch, it's completely normal. As long as it goes after about 30 seconds when you come out of the stretch, you've got no need to worry. We'll take one more breath in. Let that hand go. We'll do the same on the other side. So maybe begin with have the hand the same height as the shoulder. And then slowly start to turn the chest, getting a good stretch into the shoulder, and just find where feels best for you. So maybe this feels good, just having the hand at the same height as the shoulder. Maybe you need to bring the hand further down. Maybe you're like me and you need to bring the arm further up, and it's going to take it slightly more into the belly of the pec. Couple more breaths here. Deep breath in. Exhale to come out. We're going to come into our very last stretch, and this is more of a breathing exercise because I like to try and stretch through my intercostal muscles, so the muscles that sit underneath my chest. So when you've got both arms up on the wall and you're kind of stretching down, that is going to stretch through the intercostals anyway. But I like to take my hands back and behind, squeeze my shoulders together, and think about pushing my chest forwards and taking some really deep breaths here, so we're stretching through the chest. So think about a deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. You'll feel as you breathe in that it's expanding through the chest, but really focus on sending that breath into the chest. Deep breath in. And exhale. So when you've got all that breath in your lungs, try and hold it there for a couple of seconds. And then we'll do one more. And let everything go. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this video. I really hope it helps you, and I hope you found it good and quick and easy to do at the end of a chest day exercise. Please like and please subscribe to my channel. It means the absolute world to me when you guys support me however you can, whether it's just watching these videos, liking, commenting, subscribing, sharing, even super thanks as well. Obviously they mean an absolute huge amount to me. It really does. Anything you guys can do really does mean the world to me. And yeah, I look forward to practicing with you all again soon. Thanks.